Hello, welcome back to OCD Hi-Fi Guy, where you get far too much information on hi-fi, but actually it's going to make things easier for you because give you a little guidelines. So, I got a question that came in from New Mexico yesterday, and Anthony from New Mexico asks, hey, OCD Hi-Fi Guy, could you do a video and let us know more about tweaks? I don't get it. There's too many of them out there. Do they work? And I don't know. And then I find the ones that work, which ones are good, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do this this video on tweaks and what the deal is with tweaks, okay? So here's kind of the deal. There is no rig that you can put together that you will just take it home, take it out of the box, and put it into your room, and it's going to sound 100%. There's no way. You have to, first of all, let things break in. Second of all, you have to tune the rig, okay? It's like anything high performance, it needs to be tuned. Okay, so that means the room is one of the things that many people overlook. You want to put some room treatments in, just at least 2 bass traps in the corners, some bass traps, and at least 2 panels at the first reflection spot on the sidewalls. That's the very least. So just put a little of that. You can find them online. You can make them yourself, actually. They're not that hard to do. Wow, I'm looking we're looking up at the corner. You got to figure out how to put a little something under here. I'm like sitting there looking at the ceiling I don't need to be looking at the ceiling. Okay, there. Is that better? That better? Sort of. Seems wobbly. Let's see. I'm going to make it even better. I'm going to make it perfect, because I must. Okay, so let's see. Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna get back to the tweak thing. Okay, so the tweak thing is like this. Okay, so you're gonna have to tune. Okay, so it all depends. And here's a common mistake that people that are getting used to tweaks, even people that are used to them, make. And that is when you go into the listening part and you're gonna listen to it and demo it, and you're saying to yourself, I can't believe this is going to work, and if this works, I'm going to be flabbergasted. And when it works, you go, oh yeah, it worked! And you're all fired up, and you buy it because it worked. Well, what you didn't do was assume everything works, and then ask yourself, was that good? Was that more real? Was it better? Did it make it better? Did it make my sound in the room, did it make the experience better? Or not. That's what you need to do. Just assume that all of them work. Some of them do, some of them don't. But more often than not, they change stuff up. Okay? They will change it up. But it's up to you to decide whether that change up is good or not. Because I've heard some tweaks that are popular. One in particular that a ton of people use. And I do not like it, man. I do not like what it does. Okay? What it does to me when I listen, and I had several products by the same company and listened to it to try and figure out what's the house sound they're going after here. What it sounded like to me is everything was, all your sonics are out in the room. You've got ambient sounds and different things. It's all over, right? The image is huge, at least in my room. It's very big. And you put one of these tweaks in, or some of the tweaks in, and all of a sudden things go like to the middle, right in between your speakers. It's like someone put a gravity machine right in the middle of the speakers, and all the little sonics that were in the room just went right into the focus. So people will go, oh, it got much better focus, because it did get it got way more focused. It also got more dense. Okay, so now things that were airy, there's not as much air. It just sucked it down into the middle, and some of the airiness or the openness came out of it. And then another byproduct of that focus, or that hyper focus, is that it seemed a little bit like it's taking effort for it to do that. It's not effortless. It's bound up a little bit, getting into the middle and focusing, but there's some kind of thing tightened almost. I took the thing out, and all of a sudden sound went spread back out. Now there's space in between everything, and it's better integrated with the room and with everything else, and it's much more effortless and just natural. Okay, that's what I look for with tweaks. I want to know, is it going to be more natural? Is it going to be more like real music? Some of these tweaks, I'm telling you, there is such a thing as having a rig that sounds too good. Okay, it's like overacting. You know, some actors overact, and you know it, and it's like, oh, you know, it stands out because it's overacting. It's too much. It's too sweet. It's too sugary. It's like it's the same with a hi-fi. You can go into a rig, or you can listen to you can put enough tweaks in your rig where all of a sudden it's so embellished that it's just like little ornaments everywhere, and all the sound is so pretty and beautiful and shiny, but it's not real. It's overdone. It's totally overdone. It's not natural. It doesn't sound. It sounds unnatural. It's unnaturally good. It's unnaturally weird. It's unnaturally. It's like a caricature of what audio is supposed to sound like. It's overdone. So keep that in mind when you're trying tweaks. Did this do something good, or did it get less natural? I'm all about natural, and so I personally use as few tweaks as I can. The ones that I find that are important. Okay, I just told you about room treatment. That's one that I think is a necessity. That one everybody should do. Okay, the other one is vibration isolation. Putting little things underneath your DAC, underneath the different components to hoist them up, pick them off their own feet, and balance them on these little vibration isolation devices. There's many of them. You don't need to spend that much money on them, but do something. And it does make a ton of difference sometimes, man. It's unbelievable how just putting them up on vibration isolation brings back lower detail, makes the bass tighter. It does a lot of things. And so I'd say vibration isolation is one. The other one was the room treatment. The other one is AC power. Make sure you got your AC power squared away. Now, what I mean by that is just have a dedicated circuit. Okay, so that means in your circuit board, panel, your breaker box, you're going to have one of those, throw switches. One of the breakers is going to be, that one is for your audio system only. There's nothing else on that. That means a wire goes off the back of the panel, and it goes all the way down to wherever, to your hi-fi room, and that's it. It connects to one duplex receptacle. That's it, okay? If you want a second one, do a second breaker with a second run out to your, and put two duplex receptacles behind your rig. And then from there, you can add like a power distributor. I use a passive power distributor. I don't use anything that has big transformers. A transformer is a way to decouple yourself from the other AC. So if AC is coming to you, you can put a transformer. It'll decouple it and then give you AC again. It's just because of the nature of a transformer where they don't connect. They just induce current into the other part. It breaks that touching wire, right? They break apart. And so you're isolated from power. It's called, isolation transformer. But transformers have their own issues, man. They're full of magnetics, and they got a 60 hertz hum in them. Not all of them are audible, but they're there. They oscillate at 60 hertz. So or whatever it's called. I think it's an oscillation. It's a 60 hertz hum. Nonetheless, so I don't use anything in the line. It comes straight from the panel to my room, and then I put in a power strip that I make that is got passive filtration in it. So there's things that can take frequency out of, like high frequency, out of AC power because when electromagnetism is in their presence, they activate. And when they activate, that means they're taking energy from the AC in order to activate themselves. Some of them vibrate, like in the case of piezoelectrics. That means that material vibrates or expands or changes form when you put it near AC power. So if you put piezoelectric sand around your power cord, anything that's of that frequency, because the different size of the granules and so forth determine which frequency they're going to activate at. So you can put that around your power cord, and it will use that frequency to activate itself and pull it off the line. As I understand it. And even if I have the scientific thing wrong, man, it works because I've heard it. A lot of people use it. So nonetheless, so that's piezoelectric. Then there's ferroelectrics and ferromagnetics, and a lot of some take magnetism to activate. Some take well, it's all magnetism, electromagnetism, or it's magnetism. So they activate in different manners. Some vibrate, some become magnetic themselves, and then go back to a resting state without the magnetism. But it doesn't matter. echoes into my power strip, right? So it filters off noise passively. It means it's not in the line. That's how I do everything. I don't do anything in the line. It's all done passively. And then I don't use power conditioners, okay? I just haven't had one ever that I put in. I think just doing a straight, clean line and doing a passive, like a power strip of your choice with passive filtration in it, that's fine, man. And then my power cords have further filtration in them. Again, nothing in line, but I do other things to my power cords that are an additional step of filtration. So it's like, so I know I'm good. I don't need to have some sort of, $5,000 power conditioner. I just don't. So anyway, so do AC. That I could have just said sort your AC, and that would have been like 30 seconds. Anyways, we're going through tweaks, aren't we? Yeah, okay, so get your AC right. Run a dedicated line. This is if you're taking it serious. Run a dedicated line, okay? Do some room treatment. That's the first things first. Do some vibration on your components. Vibration isolation. Do not underestimate cables, okay? Spend some money on cables, okay? And look, there's going to be people that tell you all the time the cables don't make a difference. That's a crock of shit. They make a difference, okay? Ask yourself, if they really didn't make a difference, how would there be so damn many cable companies surviving and doing well? Because that would mean everybody's imagining something, like that many people that we can keep those many companies in business that we're having a mass delusion on the cables. Well, there's more people that believe in cables than there are that don't believe in cables. So the guys that don't believe in cables are the minority of people that don't believe in cables, and they identify with that. That's part of their makeup when they, tell themselves in their head, well, it's like a subliminal, this is me, like how I'm, this is what I am. I stand for, I'm the cable, cables, don't make a difference guy, We all have those little kind of our little things that make up our personality, and there's the guys that are cable naysayers, and they will never change because it's part of their identity. I'm a cable naysayer, and even if you make complete sense to them scientifically with proof, they'll come up with some reason why your thing was fouled and it's not a good test and it didn't work and it was wrong, or whatever. So don't even spend time having the discussion, because it's the discussion goes nowhere. Always. It never goes anywhere. So don't have the discussion. Just say, you're right, cables don't work, and then go get your damn cables, because they do work. The cable is got the job of protecting your signal, protecting it when it goes outside of the component. It's leaving outside the component, and it's going out through wires and stuff in an environment that's ripe with a bunch of different pitfalls, things that can affect it. So as a cable manufacturer, you have to affect the least amount of loss. Every cable that you're going to put in is going to take away from the sound. It's going to add something, okay? Let's just say that. It's going to add something, even if that something is less of this, So get some good cables. My feeling and my thought on cables is simple is better. Get high purity metals. Get just the simpler, the better. These cables that have all these little boxes and batteries and crap and wires and all that stuff, man, whatever, okay? That's a cable guy who's got no tricks up his sleeve, so he's just inventing crap to pile on top of his cable because he doesn't make anything else. So he's got to do something else. What do I do, this year? Well, I've got to make the cable different. Well, why don't I add they keep making cables more complicated and more complicated. A cable is not a damn complicated thing. Just use high purity metals, protect it from the elements, which are, RFI and EMI and vibration, and that's it. That's it. That's all there is to it. So don't underestimate the power of cables, because I see too many people get killer systems and then just half-ass cables, and their system sounds crappy comparatively. Like, based on what level the gear is, it should be singing like incredibly. So don't underestimate that. As far as the other tweaks, okay, anything that says the word quantum, okay, anything, dude, tread with, not care, but awareness. Tread with awareness, okay? These things will change your sound for sure. They do weird crap, okay? and it's on the quantum level, so who knows what the hell it is, you know, it's spintronics or whatever the hell. It does change things up, but does it make it better? Okay, here's an example. Okay, so let's say you've got something that makes a cable a superconductor. Okay, so now things are going super fast through the cable. Okay, so you could, theoretically, this is just for an example to show you how to think about this kind of thing. So let's say you think you improved it because you made it faster, right? Everything's going through more efficiently and faster. Well, what if your old cable kept a rhythm and pace of the sonic, and now the new one is so quicksilver liquid fire that it's like there's no timing and pace and rhythm, that it's just all super fast, and there's no mellowness or pace or rhythm. You know, it could do that theoretically. So I'm just showing you how too much of something, you know, you're trying to make it good, so I'll make it faster, but you can make it too fast and then it loses its pace and its rhythm, you know, or you try and make something more organic, but you do too much and now it sounds like syrup and like honey, and it's just like, it's slow, you know. So you listen for that. Just know that people have spent a lot of time figuring out what's going to jack up the sound in this rig, because they know that all they have to do is make it change and people will buy the stuff. All you got to do, I'll say it again, anybody want to go into business in Tweaks, make something that changes the sound of the audio and you can sell it, because people won't think further than that. They'll just go, oh, it worked, and they buy it. Okay, you can do that with a huge magnet. You guys want to, you don't believe me? Get a neodymium magnet, okay? And be careful with those because they hurt your fingers if you get them close to steel. You get your finger pinched in there. Take a neo magnet, put it on top, put it around the audio, open up, be careful. I didn't say open up. I did not say that. Okay, if you got an open tube amp and you got transformers and stuff on the outside, put a magnet around in there. If it just so happens that your audio component is open and you just so happen are going to risk electrocution and blowing your stuff up or whatever, unless you're careful with it, place a magnet on different places inside your audio equipment. And dude, you're going to totally hear it change. Get a piece of quartz, get a softball size, or even small, get a golf ball size chunk of quartz, pure crystalline quartz, the quartz like the hippies love, you know? Rose quartz, amethyst, tourmaline, a lot of stuff, obsidian, but the crystal clear white quartz, and put it on your put it around your rig, man, and listen to what it does. It changes stuff, because it does, okay? So a lot of the tweaks work, but just that because they work does not make them viable, okay? So that's the lesson for tweaks is, go ahead, have fun, try them, but remember, if your rig takes a pile of tweaks to sound its best, something's wrong. Okay, that's my opinion. I had that epiphany when I was chasing after tweaks. I avoided it my whole time. That one time Gary got me to try a tweak, because he's like, just buy it, and if you don't like it, man, I'll buy it from you, you know? And I'm like, fine, man, sure. So I tried it, and it did change stuff up, and then it's put me on this rabbit hole till the you know, a month later, I've got these things called what's that thing called? A Schumann resonator. I've got these damn, where is it? I still got it around here. It outputs, anybody want one? You can buy it cheap. It's a ring. It's an antenna like this, right? Like a ring thing. And then you plug it into a generator that generates the same frequency as the resonant frequency of planet Earth when you gong it with lightning. Pokong, when lightning hits down, it rings the crust of the Earth, and it rings, and its resonant frequency is like 7.86 hertz or something like that. So a lot of the New Agers use that because they say, oh, you need the sound of the planet to make your chakras get all happy or whatever, you know. And so like in space, where they don't have that thing, that frequency, they put these little resonators, and it makes them healthier or whatever, man. I'm not going to get into it, you know, whether it works or not. But the thing is weird, man. You put it into your rig, you turn it on, you put it in, dude, I'm telling you what, if I'm imagining that stuff, then I could probably imagine myself right out of this room right now. That's about how strong it was, you know. I had two people in the room. One was a client, one was somebody else, a friend. We all heard it, man. It changes stuff, and it's not even in the rig. You turn that shit on in the room, and it makes the air do something. The frequency that's in the air acts differently, and you hear things differently, man. It changes up the sound because it's doing something with the air, which is the vibration from your speaker goes through the air to your ear. Just make it water, and you can understand it better. Think if it was water, it'd be vibrating through water. So if you have a whale there going, ee, or whatever, it's going to change the sound, right? So this thing's probably doing E on like a way higher level than we can hear. No, it's lower. It's below we can hear, right? Yeah, 7 hertz. So that's super low frequency. What do they call it? ULF or something ultra low frequency. So you're not going to hear that anyways. It might make you want to like poop or something, but it's not. You're not going to hear it. But it will be interfering with the waves in the room for sure. So it changes things up. Anyways, so you can do that with a lot of things. So approach tweaks with awareness, have fun, realize they're for entertainment only. I didn't finish my story. The story was, I tried the platform, right? I tried the platform. 2 weeks later, whatever, I tried all these things. I bought so many different things, and now I'm at the damn, resonator in the room. Like, I'm going like I'm a crack fiend or something, I'm freaking out. I don't even know. I'm just like, But the rig sounded better than it ever has to me at the time. I'm like, things sound so good, sound better than they ever have. And then I remember one day in particular, leaving the room. I have a listening room. And I looked back at the rig, on my way out of the room. I just ended a session kind of early. And I was like, things sound really good, but man, there's something wrong that my rig has all those damn wires and things and all these tchotchkes everywhere and all this crap. Something's wrong with that, man. That's BS, man. I don't believe it. I think that it doesn't need it. And so what I did was I went upstream with my electronics. I went upstream. I went to Jeff Rowland. I went higher than I ever thought I was going to go because I always thought that stuff was a ripoff and wasn't for real. I found out the hard way that some, not all, hi-fi, the hi-fi that is truly the real deal, it is expensive. It is expensive. That's all there is to it, man. It's just like cars, racing cars that are the real deal. They're expensive. Watches that are the real, anything that is the real McCoy, it's going to be a premium because somebody took a lot of time to make it. And there's extra expense into it. So it's going to cost you more. So there is truth to you get what you pay for, okay? So you could say that the tweaks are kind of a shortcut to that, but I'd rather do something passively than actively. I'd rather not force something to sound the way I want it to. I'd rather just coax it along with the electronics and make it naturally sound the way I want it to, with passive things like room treatment and whatever. So anyways, I look back at my rig, I'm like, man, there's too many things there. That's just messed up. And then Ryan had Ryan come over. He's a speaker builder and very pragmatic, very by the book. He's very much information oriented, like measurement oriented, which I'm not. I'm like a damn artist. I'm like, just splash of this and here, splash of that. That's how I cook. That's how I do hi-fi, or I did. I did that for a long time. It was like, just try this and try that and see what happens, man. If it sounds good, it's all cool. Well, in honesty, it is all cool if you do it that way, as long as you're not selling to other people that way. Or if you are selling to other people that way, that you say, this is just whatever. This is whatever spaghetti. And, you may try it, it may sound like this, and I may try it and sound like that, but we're having fun spaghetti time, and I'm selling you spaghetti. So have fun with it, and have fun. And that's cool. But if you're trying to give hard, like this is going to do this, like it's going to increase image and this will widen the sound stage and things like that, I think it needs to be more results or measurement oriented. So Ryan came right about that time, man, when there was, when I had all my tweaks and I thought it sounded so good. And he's like, have you measured the response, the room response? And I'm like, no. And the funny part is, I had all the equipment to do it. I had bought the microphone, I bought the software, I had all the crap to do it, and I just never done it because I looked at the instructions and they looked like too confusing, and I'm just like, I don't want to deal with math, and programming or whatever. It was just like, computers, kind of didn't want to deal with computers. I'm much different because I built servers, so So I know a lot more. I'm not afraid of going inside a computer and messing with it, or software or whatever. So nonetheless, so we got it out. We measured the damn room, and it was down. And this was before we redid the Maggie crossover, but it was down 3 decibels from like 500 hertz all the way up to like 3,500. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I did that silence so you can feel how it felt to me. Because you know what? I'd spent like 2 years looking for the missing mid-range in that damn rig. Oh my God, dude. You know how much time I'd spent? Time and effort and just driving myself bonkers. Like, there's something wrong with the rig. It's missing that mid-bass thing, and I need to bring it up, and I was just trying frickin' everything. Had I just measured in the beginning and gone, well, maybe I can just do the crossover right, That's a strike to Magnapan, okay, so whatever. They did it, my speculation is, because so many people give them crap about not having bass and stuff, that it was, to me, I'm assuming it was intentionally down through that band, that mid-band there, because it's too deliberate. It's too obvious. It was all the way straight across. Like, it went down, and then it was a straight line across, and then it went up. So it was just, like, very obvious. So I presume that made the Maggie sound like they had more bass. But it brings down the mid, and then I'm trying to get accuracy, and I'm driving myself crazy with all these tweaks and all this crap. And I didn't even measure the rig to begin with to know that there's something wrong with the damn speakers. Another thing to watch for is if you're hearing distortion, make sure the guy that's playing, I was hearing distortion, I'm hearing distortion, all of a sudden it dawned on me, I'm friggin' listening to Neil Young. Oh my God, dude. He's got the most distorted freaking guitar of anybody. It's like just one big distortion board, So I realized I'm hearing the distortion in the damn music, man, not in my rig. That was another fun epiphany that I realized how much time I'd spent trying to fix the distortion. I'm saving you guys time. This is worth money. So anyways, that's what it's all about. That's what the tweaks are all about. And so, use them, have fun. They're not going to, they shouldn't make or break your rig. Let's put it that way. If they're making or breaking your rig, then look at your rig, man. Get a better DAC or something, So that's it, man. That's my little blurb on tweaks and what they're all about. I told you what good ones I thought were good and necessary, and the other ones are just playtime, There is nothing that you see like you'll see, and as you do this, people invent tweaks, and then the lemmings, just go crazy over one thing, like the carbon mouse pads or the damn whatever the hell they are, clock. One time it was a freaking quartz clock, a travel alarm clock, because it's got quartz in it and it does something, the quartz vibrates at a frequency that's what keeps the time, and you put it in the room and it does something. And I went to somebody that I really respected, a digital engineer. I went to his house, and he's got in his listening room, and he's got these little pebbles and shit and clock and stuff, and I'm like, dude, you got out of your damn mind? It was like, yeah, he had, but I guess it worked. He liked the results. Who am I to judge? Somebody, if they like the results, it doesn't matter. But it was weird for me. So, nonetheless, that's me, Mikey, OCD Hi-Fi Guy, checking out with you guys. Hope the tribe is having fun this weekend. Happy Easter, and I hope everybody can have a nice evening of listening and raise the vibration. All right, y'all. See ya.